What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing us a brand new episode of The 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best entertainment-related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. A movie that I'm super excited about, guys, not only because it's a continuation or not a direct sequel, but something that I think a lot of us who watched the very first Space Jam are really excited for Space Jam 2 for a number of reasons. The number one thing for me, guys, is that there's been a huge debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James, and that debate will probably go on until, who knows, the end of LeBron's career and then continue afterwards, if you really think about it, depending on what LeBron does the remainder of his career. And this is just another way in which this comparison is going to just continue going on as Space Jam 2 is going to be released in 2021, at least for the time being. And I want to talk about everything that we know so far about this movie. So let's get into it. So guys, in an article that was written by Harrison Fagan, Sabrina Merchant, and Christian Rivas from Silver Screen and Roll, the follow-up to the 1996 film Space Jam, which starred Michael Jordan, is due out in theaters in July of 2021. It will center around the heir to Jordan's throne as NBA royalty, Lakers star LeBron James, and is tentatively being listed as Space Jam 2, even if it isn't confirmed that will be the actual title of the film. And honestly, guys, I'd be kind of surprised if it was called Space Jam 2, just because it sounds like LeBron doesn't want this to be a direct sequel, so maybe it'll be called like Space Jam The Next Generation or something like that. Like, it may not be called Space Jam 2. James and Spring Hill Entertainment CEO Maverick Carter have emphasized in interviews that their vision will not be a sequel, but while the exact title isn't known for certain as of the original publishing date, we do know a few things about the cast and crew for the film. Black Panther director Ryan Coogler will serve as a producer on the movie. Something James told The Hollywood Reporter was in part due to how Coogler gave this generation's kids something I didn't have when I was a kid, and that's a superhero movie with an African-American cast. Coogler will not direct the film, his first since Black Panther. That task will fall to Scary Movie 5 director Malcolm Lee, which I think is an interesting choice for a director. It would have been awesome to see Ryan Coogler do the directing of this, but even having him as a producer is absolutely awesome. Now, what I will say, guys, is Malcolm Lee, he might have, doing Scary Movie 5, obviously, it might be the perfect fit, actually, when you really think about it, but I personally would have liked to see Coogler as the director, but maybe it was a schedule conflict there. In addition to serving as another of the film's producers, James will star as himself, while Senequa Martin Green will play his wife, Savannah James, according to IMDb. Actor and longtime James body double, Sheldon Bailey, will serve as LeBron James's basketball double for the movie, while Don Cheadle is playing as an as-yet undisclosed role. Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes are also loosely attached to appear with Mulan director and revered Disney animator Tony Bancroft helping bring them to life. So the original Space Jam is remembered fondly for its NBA star cameos, and this movie will be no different as James has recruited an assortment of the biggest names in the NBA and WNBA to appear. A list that includes Lakers teammate Anthony Davis, as well as Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson, Chris Paul, Diana Taurasi. So at the end of the day, guys, this seems like a pretty awesome movie. I mean, like, we don't obviously know really the ins and outs, haven't seen a trailer or anything along those lines, but from what we do know and what we can kind of grasp from this, guys, is that this isn't going to be a direct sequel, which I don't think it should be. I think that this is going to be a great, this will obviously build upon the legacy of Space Jam. It'll build upon the legacies of not only LeBron, but also Michael Jordan as to what he started, that being the very first Space Jam back in 1996. Now, Guys, the comparisons between LeBron and Michael Jordan will continue forever. And for most of you out there know, I'm a massive LeBron fan. I love LeBron. I think he's done just great things on and off the floor, which I believe makes him better than Michael Jordan as far as like the greatest ever. Because I look at the totality of everything of what someone did on the basketball court, but also outside of the basketball court. And I think LeBron has done an incredible job with his own communities, like in Akron, even in LA now, what he did in Miami. So all in all, everyone's got their opinion about who they think is the greatest and such. And this is going to, I don't think that this in particular is going to draw more comparison. I think what it will do, though, is people are going to compare Space Jam to Space Jam 2 as to which one is better. And then that's just going to lead us to many more debates outside of all of that. And this is, like I said, a never-ending debate, it feels like. I think that the only way that this would be a debate that, or no longer a debate, is if LeBron won 6 championships. That would pretty much seal the deal, because then him and Jordan would be tied with championships, but LeBron would have, so many more points, so many more assists, so many more rebounds, and all of these other things. So I think, and I don't know if LeBron will ever get to 6 championships. It'd be amazing if he did, but I don't know if he's going to be able to because of his age and all of that. Now, if he wins a couple more, I mean, guys, there'll always be a debate here. And this is no different. There will be a debate between which movie was better, and everyone who loved Michael Jordan will probably say, Space Jam and the 1996 film, and then the people who love LeBron will say Space Jam 2. And as a movie lover, I'm going to go into this thing with a totally unbiased, or try to go into it with an unbiased opinion. I'm going to try to look at which movie was just better, what was funnier, what was just a better movie overall. I do think that Space Jam 2, the one thing that it's going to have over, of course, the original Space Jam is probably better, things graphically when you're talking about the Looney Tunes and such, probably a little bit better graphics. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. I personally think LeBron is a better actor than Michael Jordan, because LeBron has played in, some other movies. I mean, Trainwreck, and he's done his own shows and things of that nature. So I think LeBron will probably do a little bit of a better acting job, but that doesn't mean that the movie overall is going to be better than the original Space Jam. It's a lot of times hard to top the original in any type of franchise, whether we're talking movies or video games. So it'll be interesting to say the least, guys, and I'm really excited about it. We know a decent amount, but we know a very little still, because we haven't even seen a trailer and such yet. I'll be sure to keep you guys all up to speed as further information comes out. And what are you guys excited for regarding the second Space Jam? Are you guys excited to see all the comparisons once again between LeBron and Michael Jordan? Or are you guys just excited to see a fun-filled continuation of this series? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And for more Space Jam 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most anticipated video games in recent memory. I can only really think of a handful of other games that were so highly anticipated, and as far as sequels are concerned. And this is a game, guys, that has had and seen a number of delays, and it's really unfortunate, but the most recent one could be, very telling, because it's hard to say when we might see this game come out, because it's been put on an indefinite hiatus at this point, and postponed indefinitely. So what does that mean? Well, let's talk about it. So guys, obviously, this was a game that was announced in December of 2016, was scheduled for release on May 29th of 2020, but was delayed indefinitely due to the pandemic that's been going on in our world. Now, what we will say is this. The Last of Us Part 2 was originally scheduled for release on February 21st, 2020, but was delayed to May 29th, 2020 in October of 2019. Sony announced 4 editions, a standard, special collector's, and an LE edition. Different editions come with different collector's items, as well as items and unlocked abilities in Part 2, and a bonus for pre-ordering the game. On April 2nd, Naughty Dog announced that The Last of Us Part 2 was almost complete, but had been indefinitely delayed due to logistical problems caused by the pandemic. So, you know what, guys? It's really unfortunate that, The Last of Us, as well as so many other, games out there that have been postponed indefinitely. It's unfortunate that this happened. I feel like Here's what I feel. I feel like this could have been a huge opportunity for a game like The Last of Us to actually sell a ton of copies, probably mainly digitally and such, if they would have released it, like in the normal slot that it was supposed to come out, May 29th of 2020. I feel personally that it actually might have done pretty well as far as from a sales standpoint, because everyone is stuck at home currently. And sure, maybe they weren't able to, maybe it was logistically, like they just weren't going to be able to deliver on all of the fronts that they were planning on doing with this game. But in my opinion, I feel like there was kind of a missed opportunity, potentially. We don't know. We'll never know if it would have sold even better than it would have, if it would have, would come out at a later time this year or sometime in 2021, if it were to have just been released May 29th of 2020. I have reason to believe, though, guys, that it actually would have sold really well, because everyone's at home. We're looking for things to do. Everyone's doing, Netflix, or everybody's playing other video games. This could have been an opportunity that there was a huge AAA title coming out and everyone's talking about it. Everyone's at home, and even people who aren't even, fond of playing video games, they might see those commercials that are on TV or wherever and the ads that are going on, and, they decide to download the game from the PlayStation Store, or they end up ordering it, from Amazon or somewhere. I feel like it could have been a big opportunity for not only Naughty Dog, but PlayStation as a whole, because everybody's stuck at home. However, where is The Last of Us Part 2? Obviously, the pandemic has happened, so what we're just mentioning now with it coming out May 29th is irrelevant, because, it's already been postponed indefinitely. So, when will we see this game come out? Guys, I feel like part of me thinks that the game's going to come out later on in 2020. However, there's going to be a big slate of big games coming out later this year. At least that's what it seems like. You got, of course, Call of Duty. You've got Watch Dogs Legion. You just got a ton of games, right? That are coming out from Ubisoft. All the big publishers and such have games coming out later this year. And so a game like The Last of Us Part 2 wants to be able to stand out. It would have stood out in May, that is for sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if they said, we're going to postpone this until May of 2021. That would not be something that I would be surprised about. I'm kind of glad that they didn't give us another date. They're just saying that it's indefinitely delayed, because they've already delayed it a couple of times. So they probably don't want to say it's going to come out later this year and then it gets delayed again. So my opinion is that they should just wait until it's done, it's ready to go, and then set a date. Set it for, May of 2021, so they have plenty of time to work on it. Things have kind of calmed down in the world, and then there you have it. It's ready and slated. And that's my personal opinion, guys. I think that at this point, it was a missed opportunity bringing it out in May. We'll never know, though. But this will give maybe the world enough time to kind of, have things maybe settle down a little bit. And this will give it some time that they can continue working on it, make sure everything's done and all those loose ends, they have everything that they need to are in place and ready to go for the release, say, May of 2021. But that's just my opinion. I would love to hear from all of you guys. That's where I think The Last of Us Part 2 is. It's currently still, things are being finished up for the most part, and they're just going to now need to wait to be able to start the marketing, and all of those things to get this as much exposure as possible so they can deliver this to the masses, say later this year or early 2021. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What are you the most excited about with The Last of Us Part 2? And where do you guys think this game is at this point? Do you think that it's going to come out this year, next year? When do you guys think it's going to release? Let me know what you guys think. And for more Last of Us Part 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. One of the most intriguing games that is going to be coming out at some point in the future is Biomutant. This is a game, guys, that really caught my attention and has been ever since a game that I'm kind of anticipated to actually get my hands on and play. But it's also a game that's very intriguing, and a lot of people are kind of talking about it and wondering what really is up with this Biomutant game. So in this last segment of the show, I want to talk about everything we know so far about Biomutant. So let's talk about it. In an article, guys, that was written by Samuel Tolbert of Android Central, evolve to match every single challenge this fantastical world throws your way. Biomutant takes open world action and throws in tons of unique mechanics. While things have been quiet lately, it's very much still in development and is still one of the most ambitious upcoming games from THQ Nordic. And so Biomutant is a third-person action RPG that has players take on the role of a cat-like creature that knows martial arts. The story has you attempting to save the Tree of Life, which is being poisoned by an oil and gnawed on by dangerous creatures. Biomutant is being developed by Experiment 101, a Swedish studio that was acquired by Embracer Group, who are formerly THQ Nordic, in 2017. Biomutant is a third-person action RPG, and here's what we know about the gameplay. Martial arts, melee weapons, and guns are all incorporated into a unique fighting style. There are 6 distinct tribes the player can choose to ally with. The tribes can be pitted against each other or made to work together. The tribes and NPCs are balanced through a karma system. Time of day and dynamic weather influence enemy behavior. Mutations and biomechanical add-ons change the way your character plays, and for example, wings will allow you to reach high areas, while breathing equipment is necessary to explore underwater. Guys, doesn't that just sound really interesting? Like, even at the end of the day, it might sound like very far-fetched or very different, but it sounds really intriguing, very interesting to say the least. You, of course, can watch some of the gameplay trailers and things of that nature. Now, will Biomutant have multiplayer? No. Biomutant is a single-player RPG, and as of right now, the developers are not planning to include any multiplayer, which is really unfortunate. I think a game like this could really, with all the different customizations and such that it sounds like the single-player story is going to have, that'd be awesome to have those things available for multiplayer. It sounds like a game that could be really good with a multiplayer experience. And you guys know me. I love package deals with video games. If you're going to pay a full price for a video game, I want to have multiplayer modes, story modes, as well as even co-op modes. Is Biomutant open world? Yes. Biomutant is an open world game with vast different regions and biomes to explore, each with their own challenges in the form of different enemies, environmental obstacles to overcome. And, you know, one of the questions a lot of people are asking is this game canceled? So, no. Despite the relative silence around the game, Biomutant has not been canceled and is in active development at Experiment 101. Earlier this year, the team published an update on Twitter saying it understood people wanted to see the game and that it will happen in time. And so there's going to be a collector's edition. There's going to be a number of different additions, guys, to this game, which I think is really exciting. And the last thing would be the release date. Originally revealed years ago, Biomutant still does not have a release date or even a release window. An update in 2020 from the studio was posted to Twitter saying that we will reveal the release date as soon as everyone at our studio feels confident about hitting that date and that the game is ready for it. And I love that, guys, because we've seen so many AAA titles and just games in general that we're almost becoming accustomed now to games being delayed, which is a real problem in the industry, in my personal opinion. I understand it with the pandemic going on, but it's been happening well before that, and I think it's going to happen well after the pandemic ends up leaving. So at the end of the day, I love that there's a developer saying, look, we are not going to give you guys a release date until we know that we can hit that date. And I love that. I absolutely love it. I think that's great that they're taking their time. Just take your time. Make a great game. I would love it to be overall like an experience like that of, you know, open world, but also having, you know, multiplayer modes and co-op modes. And I hope they add those things because since we don't know for sure, they don't plan on doing a multiplayer, that doesn't mean they won't do it. And I think us as a community, if you want that, we got to voice that to the developers, guys. So at the end of the day, look, guys, we know things about the game, but there's a lot of stuff that we don't know yet. And we've seen gameplay trailers. We've seen kind of the initial concepts and such for this game. And I got to tell you, it's one of the most intriguing games that I've seen in quite some time, and I really think that this could be a special game, like really a special game. Now, obviously, it could end up being a complete failure. It could be, you know, one of those, it could like bomb when it comes to sales and such, but it could be something really different, very ambitious, and very intriguing to a lot of people. And then it's one of those games that could win a lot of awards and such, I believe, but could potentially win a lot of awards just for being so different. The colors are so immersive, and the world seems like a place that you go into, and there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of approach the world and such. And it's open world, so it looks like there could be, lots of hours that you could put into it. I can't wait to hear more, and I'll definitely keep you guys up to speed as more information comes out, because this is pretty much everything that we know so far about the game. But what do you guys think about Biomutant? What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. And for more Biomutant content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.